almost 100 years of research, very expensive research, into the lives of successful people. Almost all of them started with nothing. And the turning point in every life is when you sit with a piece of paper and you begin to write out your goals and to make plans. And then you begin to work on your plans every day. And if you can do that, you will accomplish 10 times as much as the average person.
We are talking about success. Let's about success in private life and success in the professional life.
Yes.
I read one of your sayings, which I really liked, that you say that in the professional life, the quality of the time is important, what you spend, and in the private life, the quantity.
Yes, very true. I have 4 beautiful children and a lovely wife. And so that's more important to me than anything. Next to that, everything is unimportant.
Was it like that at the beginning, or
Yes.
is it already the successful person saying?
No, because from the time I met my wife and we got married and we had our first child, they were always the most important thing of all. I made that decision very early, that my wife and my family would always be more important. And whenever I have had to choose between business and my family has always come first. And you can ask my children. They say, well, Dad, you travel a lot, you're away a lot. I said, yes, but have I ever missed an important day for you in your whole life? And they will have to admit, I have always been there. I have always changed my schedule, and I've always been there for the important days. Because family and children are more important than anything else.
But how can you manage that? Most of the successful persons or top managers always say, oh, I don't have time. I know you are saying the Pareto theory, yes, which says, if I understood it well, that in 20% of your time, you can arrange 80% of your most important things. How is that? How can that work? You know, I was reading that, and I thought, okay, from today, I just read it before the interview when I was preparing for this. I was just thinking, okay, from today I'm trying to do that. And I tried, but I wasn't sure how it works.
Yes, well, if you make a list of 10 things that you have to do today, and you go through the list, you'll find that 2 of those items are worth more than all the others put together. And out of every list of 10, and this has been found over more than 100 years of experimentation, it also says that if you sell a lot of products, your company, 2 of your products, or 20% of your products, will account for 80% of your business. If you have several salespeople, 2 of your salespeople will make 80% of your sales. 20% of your customers will account for 80% of your business.
But how can you know that before?
Well,
I mean, you can never know. So I was in my life, I was always thinking, I can never know. I'm meeting you, I'm meeting someone, and you can never know what life brings to you. I mean,
you can never know, but you just know that there are laws of probability. Just for example, there's a law of probability that lightning will strike, but it's a very small probability. There's another probability that the sun will go down tonight. That's a very high probability. Everything in life has probabilities. And with your work, 20% of your work will probably be worth 80% of the value. And so you must always be thinking, is this the most valuable thing I can do?
One of your most striking things is that you say that there is no luck. There are probabilities, as you're just saying now.
Yes, there's no such thing as luck. What we find is when people say someone is lucky, what they really mean is, I don't understand why they're successful, so I just call it luck. But if you look at a person who's successful, like Andrew Grove from Budapest, why is he successful? Well, of course, he's talented. That's true. But he also has an engineering degree, which he had to work very hard to get because he had no money and no friends, so he had to work his way through university. He had to get a job. He had to be punctual. He had to make friends. He had to learn English, which is not easy to learn. He had to do 100 different things, each one of which helped to move him into a position where he could use his whole full potential.
Well, let me allow to ask questions from the position of the opposition.
Okay.
From this chair.
Yes.
In my experience, there are lucky people and not lucky people in the sense, you know, there are people who maybe they make something wrong, but they finish it up lucky some ways. There is a word in Hungarian, pechfogos, you know, people who are attracted to unlucky things, even
Yes.
if they are, you know that.
Yes.
So there is, in a way, in my experience, there is a kind of, I don't know if we call it fate or characteristic, which makes some people lucky or some people unlucky in a way. So you can know if someone is putting this jug there, it will break. And if,
Yes.
if another person touches it, it won't break, even if it falls down on the floor.
Yes.
So how do you explain that?
Well,
with your theory?
I don't explain that, but I don't even try to explain it. But let me give you an example. You prepared for this interview,
Right.
okay? And you have asked me a series of questions and quoted things from my books because you're a professional. And you can tell a professional because a professional always prepares. They don't sit there and try to think of what to say. They do their homework. Now, yeah, I'm sure that you had many things to do, so you had to take a good deal of time to do the preparation that you've done. That's the sort of thing that gives you an extra advantage that makes you lucky. It just is the attitude toward life that you do your homework, you do your preparation, you study, you read, you're punctual, you're on time. There's so many little, you have goals for yourself, you're ambitious. There's so many little things that you put them all together is they enable you to be more successful than the average person. And of course then the average person who doesn't want to do these things will just say, well, you're lucky. Well, it's not luck.
Yeah, it sounds very good, thanks. But sometimes there are things which you, in your book, it's an advice that prepare for everything. Do your
Yes.
homework, prepare.
Yes.
But you might also have some experience that what you prepare the most, that the outcome
Yes.
is the worst. So psychology says sometimes that what we need the most, we are the most afraid of.
Yes, that's true.
So if you think, for instance, love, if somebody is really important for you, even you prepare much more for a meeting and you behave more clumsy.
Yes.
So with the advice of preparation, how do you see this?
Yes, well, first of all, you need to know clearly what you want. When you talk about love, I've given this advice, I followed it myself, and I've given this advice to many people. If you're single and you want to find the right person, set it as a goal. And then write down a description of the right person. Write down 20 qualities of the right person. What that does is it helps you become clear in your own mind, but then it starts to attract into your life the right person, because your mind is very clear and it becomes like a magnet. If you're unsure of what you want, if you're not clear, then it's very hard for you to attract the right person into your life. If you want to do the right job or the right career, then you give a lot of thought to what it is you would really enjoy. Let me give you a formula for success. And I think all of success is a series of formulas. A formula for success is to find out what you really enjoy doing and decide upon that, and then put your whole heart into doing it very, very well. We have found that 85 to 90% of all successful people say the reason for their success is because they work harder than other people doing something that they enjoy. And the unfortunate thing is that most people are lazy. The 80% of people pretty much are lazy. And study after study shows that the top 20% of people want to be successful. The other 80% just want to watch television and have fun. And the bottom 80% then are resentful toward the 20% who just work a lot harder than they do.
Well, it sounds very good what you say, but sometimes in my experience, many things happened totally by chance to me.
Yes,
I call it by chance, really.
Yes.
For instance, I say you an example, maybe similar things might happen to our watchers too, that I was going to negotiate for a project which I really, really wanted. And as a buyer, they didn't need the project I was offering, but
Right.
they wanted to buy and they bought, and totally other project which became a big career for me. So many times
Yes.
byproducts happen in your life. So you can never know. You go to a party to meet